Hidden Object Guru here, back for more Demon Hunter 5 Ascendance. Sorry, I was just looking over the Steam page for Witch Hunt, so my natural inclination was to just yell Witch Hunt again. How come my reviews are only 30 seconds, Irish Ninja? Oh, okay. Well, that is because the reviews, the Totally Objective Review channel is a joke channel meant to satirize people who ask for objectivity in video game reviews.
It's hard to say. Are those vines keeping the house together, or are they tearing it apart?
Good question. Tearing it apart. If you want to see actual reviews, just drop by Game Critics. I review games there. My actual thoughts on games. So basically, a lot of people keep asking for objectivity in video game reviews. And rather than just responding to them every time and saying,
those vines keep
reviewing is a 100% subjective medium, I'm talking about my experience with a game. Instead, I thought the best way to do it, I will go get those fingerprints. I thought the best way to do it would be to make a channel where I show quote-unquote objective reviews of a game. The joke being that an objective review of the game is just a statement of the game's size, the game, who developed it, when it came out, how much it costs, and how much space it takes up. So yeah, they are parody reviews. And I know that's not always clear, but that is what I'm going for. Thank you, Hans. You said it a little more clearly than I could have. I was struggling to explain that. But yeah, the only objective way to consider a game is to just list the facts. Alright, let's do this. Monocle. Well, that's a monocle. Smiley face. A lot of frowny skeletons here. Is that a smiley skeleton? It is not. There's the sword. Voiced El Diablo. No, because, again, objectivity means literally not having your own point of view on it. The thing is, I think most people who do, do reviews are honest and objective about the facts. Or, straightforward about the facts. My point is, as long as you are 100% clear about what your biases are, say whatever you want about a game. But whenever people don't like a game, they're like, the response you get is, you're not being objective. It has good gameplay, is a very common response. Pentagon. Do you mean pentagram, or are you actually saying pentagon? Because that's weird. Hands form a sign, I need to mark it somehow. Yes, I need a pencil for that. Basically, people tend to complain about objectivity when they really just disagree with a review. And so I went and I said, satirically, well, here you go. Yeah, it's a pentagon. They didn't make a pentagram. I love that with those places, you could have made a pentagram, and in fact, the finger symbols suggest you should make a pentagram, but instead they made a pentagon. That's pretty weird. So yeah, obviously it is a joke channel, so you shouldn't take that part of it too seriously, but it's reflecting how people will often claim a lack of objectivity on the side of a critic, when what they really mean is they didn't agree with a critic. Oh, totally. People often misuse it, but the weird part is, there aren't that many objective things you can talk about in video games. Congrats, Unabridged. Was it objective? I'm just joking, because I'm a jerk. No, seriously, though. I don't think it actually is that easy to say what is an objective thing about a video game, because everyone experiences video games so completely differently. Like, for example, you and I could say that the graphics in Resident Evil 2 2008 are objectively better. We might want to say they are objectively better than the graphics in Resident Evil 2 1998, right? Or 1997? 1998, I think. Yeah, 1998. So 2019 versus 1998. you might say they're objectively better. But there are people out there for whom, and I think anyone would agree with me on this, the pixelated look is more entertaining to them. They think it's a better expression. They think zombies look creepier when they're super low res, blah, 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 blah. And so then you get into, well, what subjectively do you consider to be good art? That's a good way to look at it, Unabridged. That was my response to, what do you call it? That's why I got into such hassle with my review of, oh, God. Master Chief Collection, right? Because Master Chief Collection, my review was, it's like, I can't tell you whether this is a good or a bad game. It can't run for 20 minutes without crashing, and this is a frigging Xbox One. No! So that was not a very positive review.
You will not scare me! I'll fix those computers and stop whatever it is that is going on here!
You're damn right. Yeah. To a certain extent, plot holes are an objective criticism. You're absolutely right, Irish Ninja. If like, there are major plot holes, that is an objective to complaint in the game story. You are 100% right. Like, if, stuff like characters behaving inconsistently can often be explained, but if, like, stuff just happens for no reason and is complete nonsense, you can say, objectively, the plot makes no sense. You are absolutely right that is a good thing you can drop in. I mean, but then again, that can often lead people into the question of objectivity in Did I have done that in any order, or did I just get really lucky? You can get into the whole subgenre of, well, that's just not a type of story. Like, certain plots just didn't work for you, not necessarily they're bad. I wouldn't say that gameplay can be objectively reviewed. I mean, as easily. But you see, the weird part is, right, you say that, but what you're doing is not objectively saying it's objectively X to control. You are subjectively judging it against other games. So, for example, if I wanted to say Mario 64 controls well, I'm saying Mario 64 controls better than Zax. And at the same time, I would say Mario 64 controls worse than Mario Sunshine. Now, and it does. Now, a lot of people hated Mario Sunshine, but Mario controls better and the camera controls better in Mario Sunshine than it did in Mario 64. That is not, up for debate. And so the question becomes, does it work? Can you play the game easily? It's still kind of subjective. Like, it's getting too far from subjective for me to really call it objectivity. Although I do see your point there. Okay. But no, my point is, anytime you're comparing things, right? Anytime you're getting into comparison, you're making a subjective statement. Well, that's the weird part. Once you're getting into film criticism, it's really hard to say what's objectively bad about it. Because they're using objectively bad, right? But I think really the Star Wars prequels are subjectively bad using a series of critical theories, right? But you can still like them. That's why we have the term guilty pleasure. Like, you're allowed to like something that's bad. I don't have to like things. Things don't have to be good for me to like them. And you can actually say that because when you get into film criticism, you have to say, okay, well, what is the subjective criteria? Like, what is I guess what I'm saying is, what is the critical framework you are using to judge the prequels? Is it an emotionally resonant story? No. Right? Does it grab you? Do the actors manage to say the lines convincingly to get across the emotions? No, they don't. Does the plot is the plot weirdly flat? Yes. Is the ending a total anticlimax?
The older I
Yes.
get, the harder
Does it
becomes
have an
to keep
awesome
track
sword
of
fight
those
in it?
memory
Also,
loss
yes.
episodes. I'm afraid what doctors will say about my
Well, no, and I don't
seizures
think there is
blackouts,
really
too.
any. When you get into film,
Vera thinks
the
I'm
only
possessed.
objective criticism
And
is
sometimes
like,
I can't but think so
can you
too.
see the like?
And it all
How shall I
started
put this?
after that séance.
Objective
so
criticism
many
is.
years
When you get into films, especially, Vera thinks I'm possessed. Sometimes I don't think so too. Okay. Oh, there was a séance that went awry. Nice. When you get into the area of objective criticism, you get into this weird situation where I don't know that there is such a thing, especially
Big night
in film,
tonight.
because objective criticism
I can't
is
remember
more
exactly calling him, but it looks like for the
is more
lead
just
role
about
in my
technical
DIY
aspects
reality,
of film, right?
Real
Because
life
for
demon
everything
hunter
bad I have to
superstars
say
assigned.
about Star Wars the
His
prequels,
popularity and fame,
that's true.
accompanied with his belief in
Right?
what's going
Everything
on
I have to
here
say about
will be more than enough to make
Star Wars the
people watch
prequels,
the live
someone else
stream
can
and
equally
even pay
well
for it.
argue
I'm the one
the
who's
value
been
of those
watched.
films.
All these cameras
So it
are for his
becomes
DIY
neither of us
reality
is
show.
being objective. A, we have differing opinions, and B, and this is the key part, we are using different subjective frameworks to question what we value or devalue in a film. Like whether we like points or don't like points about a film. To the point where it's like, I have seen people, this is true, I have seen people make arguments defending Jake Lloyd's acting in the film, The Phantom Menace. I would never do that, and I could make an extensive argument for why the way that kid was directed was wrong, and every acting choice he made in that film was wrong. But there are people who can make a defense of it, and that's why you really shouldn't get into the word objectivity when you're talking about an artistic medium. That's true. That was a very good series, Unabridged. She uses the Transformer films to explain every kind, well, not every kind, but the Robo-Tourist, nice. Oh, check it out, look! It's designed to look like the robot from Metropolis. While it's true, Irish Ninja, that a film can be so bad that you can say, that anyone can look at it and say, this is obviously just a bad film, right? That's absolutely true. That's not that useful a thing to look at with critical theory. And I guess what I'm saying is, just because, and this is where we really get into the weeds of how criticism works, even though everyone on Earth subjectively agrees that something is bad, that does not necessarily objectively make it bad. I know that's a ridiculous road to go down, but that is where we end up when we're talking about film criticism. Metropolis is amazing. Yay! There you go, Hans. Speed Racer's amazing. It's my favorite Wachowski siblings film. I think Speed Racer is... Yeah, Metropolis is great. I think Speed Racer is great from beginning to end. Okay, repair the fuse box by swapping place of the fuses in the box until you utilize the sum of the fuses in their proper slots. Gotcha. I adore that movie, and I will fight anyone who doesn't adore that movie. Alright, so this is worth 25. Oh, it actually says up there. I don't have to do the math myself. Yeah, Velvet Assassin is a good game. Velvet Assassin, this is not a fun fact, but I will say it anyway. Velvet Assassin is the game that taught me about Oscar Deerlevanger, the worst man who ever lived. I had never heard of him before I played that video game, and this is true. Like, a week later, I played another game mentioning Oscar Deerlevanger, the worst man who ever lived. So, yeah. That's a weird thing that happened to me. So, red goes here. Purple? No. Okay, so we need to get to, Oscar Deerlevanger. That is his name. Oscar Deerlevanger. He can be best described as the worst man who ever lived. He was, even by Nazi standards, he was the worst Nazi. And he gets mentioned in the game extensively. How bad was he? Nobody asked. But here is a possibly apocryphal, but probably true story about Oscar Deerlevanger, which is that he was so bad that when Hitler found out what he was doing in a place, Hitler's like, get this man away from civilization. Like, he's fine out in the woods just murdering civilians. You can't let him into a city, was Hitler's response.
I have to reveal the
yeah,
truth.
let's do that now. But yeah, he comes up in it, and then the crazy part was, so I'm playing that game, and like, literally, I think 2 months later, Oscar Deerlevanger, who I had never heard of before this game, shows up as a character in another video game. Can you tell me the name of that game? Be the first commenter below the video to mention it, and you'll win a prize! Just drop it into the comment section. Drop the... oh.
Look what you found.
This is all being sold online.
He's streaming all of this to the internet. All of this was a setup all along.
It was all a...
Discovered our little secret. Great. Now the real fun can
What? The guy with yellow eyes from the beginning of the game was the real villain? Who could have guessed? Anyway, I'm being
Our
sarcastic.
little celebrity is
Yeah.
awake.
So just drop the name of the game I'm talking about in the comment section below the video,
Was all
along with the
this
time
too
code for where in the
much
video I
for you?
answered the quiz asked the quiz question, so I can check your answer. Boom. That's true, Unabridged.
Quick, come with me.
Like, whenever you're talking about any creative endeavor,
Edmund's gone crazy.
it's just a
He
struggle
was
to put it
mumbling
out. So
something about
creating a
getting free by
unified,
reaching millions of viewers.
you know...
He's acting as if he's possessed.
Uh-oh.
Please stop him before he does something he'll regret.
I'm gonna try.
You go find him. I'll call the police.
Before, right,
It's
anything
impossible that he
approaching a
did this all by
unified
himself.
creative vision is almost
How
impossible
come
to
you're all
happen.
here? You should be
Yes,
somewhere
his full
safe.
name is, I think,
Explain everything to you later.
D-I-R-L...
All right, I'll help you now. Hope the police come here
D-I-R-L-E-W-A-N-G-E-R, I think is how you spell his name. All right, let's get out of the basement, everybody. It's weird. I think there was a cutscene there about me falling into the basement that I accidentally skipped because it said click to continue. And I'm like, oh, so click to continue. But it really meant click if you want to skip the cutscene. So, thanks, game. Alright, let's do this. Ace of spades. Fishing hook. 8 ball. Pyramid. I really got a good throat rumble there, and I didn't want to give it up, even though it made no sense for what I was trying to say. There's the bobber. We need a button, a pencil. Yeah, like, there are games that are, I mean... Thank you. One of the things that I'm... the reason I so strongly want to make these arguments about subjectivity and making arguments about why your feelings of a game are... why everyone should be able to defend their feelings towards a game was the reaction to... was the reaction to Deadly Premonition. Now, Deadly Premonition is a game that when you were talking about gameplay elements, like the things that we consider gameplay, how the players and how the characters control, how the combat works, how the mystery section works, they are all unadulterated garbage, right? But at the same time, you have a game with one of the best stories in the history of video games. I just made a bullseye on that skull's head. Nice. Yeah, I mean, but I would say Irish Ninja, that gets deep into the idea of is it functional? Like, the only thing that is truly objective about a game, really, when you get right down to it, like, oh yeah, there's another sun card, you're right. The only thing about a game that is truly objective is, does it work or not, right? And that's crashing, that is responsiveness of controls. Oh, a pager, nice. That is, does the game crash? If you push left, do you immediately go left, or are there responsiveness issues? But once you get into game design, well, we're getting into subjectivity. And there's things that I think they have done wrong, but I can only think they've done wrong because I can make an argument about how it could have been done better, right? Unless you can have a better idea in your head, and that's where we get into subjectivity, you can't really say what they're doing wrong. If Combat for the Atari 2600 is the only video game you've ever played, Combat for the Atari 2600 is the best video game you've ever played. And it is because all of us as gamers have this huge wealth of background, of games we've played, developing our tastes and allowing us to constantly compare things to them, that we end up being able to viscerally respond in a way that can feel objective to stuff that games do. Film, honestly, it's even harder to say what is objectively good or bad in film. When it gets to good or bad in film, I want to say, is it in focus? Well, then it's objectively a film. You know? Although I say that, there are narrative reasons to keep stuff out of focus. But once again, you are right that if there are plot holes, you want to be able to say, well, that is objectively a plot hole. But at the same time, when you get into artistic intent, there can be a reason. I'm having no trouble. I'm having no luck finding these lighters. Near the skull where you drew the target. Okay. I don't see it, though. Like, above? Below? Help me out here. Anyway, when you get into film, you get into much deeper weeds, right? Because you've got... sometimes there are films with plot holes where the plot holes are part of the point of the film. Like, where the director, writer, producer, sometimes even actors, are making an artistic choice to make the audience react a certain way. Oh, yeah. How did you find me, Irish Ninja? I'm going to go look for the lighter, because Phoenix did not give me a clear enough description, but I will be right back to tell you. Where the hell is this lighter? Excuse me. I'm going mad. I hate using a hint, but I mean, I'm not going to stick us here on this screen. I usually do not have to use hints in Artifacts Monday games. Oh, my review of Trooperbrook. Yeah, people did not like that review. But again, people don't like satire. It is in the sun card on top of the book? What? What are you talking about? It's a lighter. Against a tarot? Ah! Oh my god, I didn't recognize that was a writer. I'm so sorry. Nice! Well, Irish Ninja, you're one of the only people who have found my channel that way. Generally, my channel gets found because of, you know, Girls and Panzer. Oh, no, wait, this is... Oh, sorry, Irish Ninja. Obviously, duh. I forgot this is the Totally Objective Review channel that I'm playing on right now. Normally, I play with the Hidden Object Guru channel. That's why I was confused about... Because when you say, do you know how I found you? And I was going to say, Girls and Panzer, like everyone else does. But, no, that actually makes a lot of sense. Well, I'm glad you found it. Because welcome aboard. This is the place for robust conversation. Like, I created the the Totally Objective Review channel to be a place where people can think about what makes reviews objective or subjective. And most of what it does is piss people off, but sometimes it facilitates conversations about objectivity and subjectivity, and that's what it's here to do. All right, we're looking for morphing object. It's literally right there. It confuses the hell out of people. You're absolutely right. The channel does, to a certain extent, confuse the hell out of people, but every now and then, I do get a good response. But generally, it does just confuse people. I'm not delusional. Oiler? No, that's a funnel. Control panel handle, nice. It would be great, but we already broke our flashlight twice, so no. It's funny, my average viewer length, my average video view length on videos is the entire video. For that exact reason. Yay, pliers. What's that? Is that another flashlight? We're going to have a great time with Demon Hunter. I hope you see you back here, Irish Ninja, if you want to catch my streams. They're going to be, starting next week, they're going to be back on the Hidden Object Guru channel. Which is also the internet's home for Girls and Panzer videos. Oh, right, I need a funnel first. Duh. FYI, though, I could just turn this on its side and pour it in directly. It's not that complicated, but... Oh. Oh, good, one of these. It's not that complicated, since there's only 4, but, you know. Totally fine, Hans. Is dynamic campaign where there's, like, a constant battle going on and your two sides of it, like how successful you are in the battle, like you gain or lose more territory? Is that the thing I'm thinking of? I have seen Pushing Up Roses. I found it because she had a Clue video that went super viral, and I watched it because I'm obsessed with Clue, and then it pissed me off because she got fundamental things about Clue wrong, and I took that as personally offended because I interviewed Jonathan Lynn, the writer-director of Clue. So I'm like, had she done just a tiny bit more research than she did, she would have not gotten this stuff wrong. Because, you know, I know that for a fact, because there's a podcast you can listen to where I frigging just interview the guy and correct all of this stuff she got wrong. But she does a good job. Neat. A chain of PV. So, okay, that's kind of cool. And is it all with realistic tanks, I assume? Also, she encouraged me. I saw she did a video about Murder, She Wrote. And that inspired me to do a video about the best episode of Murder, She Wrote ever. And so I'm putting that together right now. I just finished capturing all of the video for it. Oh, it's planes only. Cool. Alright, so I got that. What do I still need? I need a flashlight, which is that. I could have sworn I clicked on that. And now I just need a belt. Oh, is the chainsaw belt the belt? Chainsaw belt is the belt. And that is the thing around his head. Yep, we're done! I built a chainsaw! What? Spiritual cleansing? Weird name for the you got a chainsaw thing. But whatevs. Let's cut down a door, everybody! Also, it was weird. I watched her other episode of... I watched the episode about Murder, She Wrote, and it was kind of strange. Because the whole episode seemed to, like... Murder, She Wrote, in the entire history, Murder, She Wrote... Like, wow. That is one sinister cat, and I have to bribe him with a mouse! Oh, I'm so excited. Right? In the entire history of Murder, She Wrote, they only ever did one comedy episode, like, ever? I need to find some queso for it. Gotcha. They only did, like, one comedy episode ever, and when she reviewed it, she acted like it was the show going nuts and going off the rails. And while I wouldn't say it was a great comedy episode, it's not like they didn't know what they were doing or they were all drunk or something. They were specifically trying to make a comedy episode, and they just didn't do a very good job. But the way she critiqued it, it's like, I don't know what's going on here. Well, what's going on here is the makers of Murder, She Wrote saw Clue and decided to do a comedy murder mystery. Like, it's not that complicated. It does rip off Indy. Every dollar that went into the pocket of Tomb Raider is a dollar that should have gone to Indiana Jones. I mean, just... intellectual property works in a way that that of course you can make stuff inspired by Indiana Jones, but, like, let's all be honest here. They only made Lara Croft a lady because they were afraid they were going to get sued by Indiana Jones. I probably said I need a cake instead of I need a cheese. Oh, I see it. Okay, I get it. So it's green, yellow, counterclockwise, green, yellow, blue, orange, red. Oh, was that orange? That was orange. Boom. They should have crossed over. You're absolutely right. They should have crossed over in a Lego game. That would have been fantastic. Yeah, I think she does do better than games, because I went on to watch a couple of her things about old Sierra games, and I thought she had a really good take on a bunch of them. Why do I need a brain? Or, more accurately, where is my mind? No? That's not a... Yeah, okay. That wasn't good. I apologize. Did I bother to get the collectibles in this past room? I did. Okay. One thing that bothers me in games with collectibles is when they don't tell you on the map whether you've gotten all the collectibles. Like, I really feel like you should tell me in the map whether I have all the collectibles. I shouldn't have to actually go to that screen to check. What have we got here? So, oh no, I already got the scroll. Okay, we're good to go. So this is the below level. Weird name for that. Still don't have any queso. I got a cake trowel. Yeah, I think it's the copyright issues unabridged. And I think they're not allowed to say that out loud because they're still worried they're going to get sued. Like, we all know what happened to Disturbia. And what happened to Disturbia, if you haven't heard this story, is... What? I thought there was something to do here. Can I not use it? Oh, okay. What happened to Disturbia was you can make a thing as similar to... what do you call it? Rear window as you want, right? But the minute you would... Oh, that's why I need 2 wrenches to pop the lock. Nice. What was I saying? Yes, you can make a thing as close to Disturbia as you want, but if you admit in an... sorry, Jesus Christ. Say the words, Hogaru. You can make a thing as close to Rear Window as you want, but if you admit in the ad that it's close to Rear Window, you're gonna get sued. And that's what's happened. That's what happened to them. That's right. I had to pry it off with a cake trowel. Things frequently don't make sense. What is that? Is that a weed killer? It is weed killer. Nice. So I got a screwdriver, an awl, an incomplete sprayer for the weed killer, a mouse trap, a sprayer bottle. Do I need some water for that as well? I think I need some water for that as well. Oh, and I have to turn on the sink because I can't do that. That's too bad. And there's something to do in the basement now that I've got the herbicide and the awl. Damn right, I can use an awl. That is one crappy lock, apparently. There's the other brain part! Lube spray. Oh, was the lunchbox? No, it's for the brain. No, it's the puzzle I'm worst at! Oh, god damn it. Wait, which side is supposed to be which? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hi, literally easiest one of these puzzles I've ever seen in my life. That was weird. Not complaining. You've gone mad again, unabridged. I don't disapprove. I'm not a monster. But you have gone mad again. The queso! Who wants to bribe the meanest cat in the world? It's me. I want to do that. That's why I said it. Do you understand? That's why I said that. That bit was going nowhere fast. Is this going to be another one of those games where I feed a mouse to a cat and I don't approve of it? Maybe he got away? Let's all pretend he got away. So, now we're going to find out that we're going to do that thing where you use 2 wrenches to open a padlock. Let's see if they do it the right way or the dumb way. They're doing it the dumb way! Yeah, if you put 1 wrench to the left and then you put the other wrench in vertically instead of beside it horizontally, it breaks like 10 times more easily. That's a fun fact I learned. He wanted it. He's just one of the Scottish Fold cuties. But he had red eyes, like he was a demon cat.
The meanest cat in the world was named Mitzi, and it was a gray long hair.
And it loved scratching you.
No,
No?
we were friends. It hated everyone else.
There you go. Alright, so if I can just find a nozzle for this thing, we are good to we are good to go. Alright. If you were a nozzle for a sprayer, where would you be? Did I miss it here? Oh, that's literally it. That's why I had to get rid of the mouse. How did I forget that? My brain tonight, people. Anyway, let's go get out of here, and then we'll call it a night. Or nigahite, if you prefer to pronounce it completely wrong. Oil sprayer. That one's already undone. Why did I bother spraying it? This isn't how locks work. Whatever, we did it.
Edmund,
Yay!
stop, please. You're not yourself.
In fact, you've been possessed by a monster.
Let me
Like,
off,
literally,
look,
that's why you're
I
doing those
have
crazy
to
faces.
finish this.
Also, you look a little like a drawing of Kevin McCarthy, but with a beard.
No!
Also, Kevin McCarthy's the best. Just FYI. Damn! Now that's a staircase. Well, I guess this time the husband really did kill his wife by pushing her down a staircase. It's a reference to The Staircase, the movie about a guy who gets framed by the cops for killing his wife, but she just fell down a staircase. Or, possibly, was attacked by an owl. We'll never know for sure, but the one thing we know is he didn't do it. Anyway, this is going to be a perfect time to take a break. We've just seen attempted spousicide. Is there a word for spousicide? Because spousicide is not a word. We've seen an attempted spousicide, so that's going to be a perfect time to take a break. I've been the Hidden Object Guru. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed my really, really long recitation on critical theory, which it is way too late at night for me to have been very coherent at all. I hope that wasn't too embarrassing for everyone. I will see you back here. Question, suggestions, and quiz answer. If you have the answer to that quiz, go in the comment section below the video. I will see you back here tomorrow, in the next item on the playlist for trying to help this lady out and solve the mystery of the Haunted Museum. But until then, I'm going to say au revoir.